Oh, that did it? The squeaky toy made you stop? I've been trying to film here for a while now, and they won't stop. I don't know if it's fighting or playing, but it's loud. I have been complaining about the weather for quite a while, but it's actually kind of pretty right now. So I've been really enjoying that. And I was working in the garden today, and I figured I could just take you with me. So there are a couple of things that I really want to get done. First of all, there are some things that I can harvest already, which is not a lot, but these are definitely ready. These chives need to be cut short. And I do think I could be harvesting some of the green beans as well, although they're not a lot. This is not the perfect spot for it. It's been standing here and it's actually in the sun now, but it doesn't get enough sunlight during the day, especially in the beginning of the season it didn't. So they were growing very, very slowly. I would have expected this to be much larger already. So I've actually sown a new set, which is inside. It's standing in the windowsill, waiting for me to plant them out. I think they are ready now. So I'm going to take those out and plant them right there as well. And then we might actually get to building a compost bin as well. But first, let's see how far we get. Well, that's disappointing. There's actually not that many green beans at all. I think, is it one? Oh, there we go. There is one. I think that's it. As I said, this one is not doing very well. It might actually pick up now though. Now that it catches a lot of sun on its leaves, maybe now it's finally gonna go, but it also had a lot of rain. If you remember in my last video, I showed you what the weather looked like here. There has been a lot of rain. So this might have just had a bit of a rough start, but I think it's picking up now. I am, however, still gonna build a second one because you can never have enough green beans. So I've got four green beans is the catch of the day. We moved into this house at the end of April, so the very, very beginning of spring, and besides some perennial herbs that were coming back up, there was no vegetable garden here yet. So I just picked a spot, just any spot that was empty and looked good, and started laying out some boards just to see where my beds would go. And I wanted these garden beds to be raised up a little bit. I didn't have that in my last garden, and I really like the path to be completely separate from the garden bed. So I wanted them raised up a little bit. So I built very simple boxes out of some wood that I had left and made sure that they had little legs sticking out in all the corners so that I could press that into the ground, keeping everything in place. Now, I built two beds here. One of the beds was completely reserved for tomatoes. I had actually started growing the tomatoes in the old house in the windowsill so that I could plant them out in the new garden. And then the other one I figured I could keep for peppers and lettuce maybe, but I wasn't completely sure yet. So I filled up both of the beds with new soil, planted the tomatoes, planted the bell peppers as well, and that was the start of our new garden. I quickly found out that later in the year, this corner doesn't actually get a lot of sunlight. So it got a lot in the spring, but now in the summer it doesn't. It's completely shaded by the tree that is standing right next to it. So I've actually taken out the peppers and things that I had standing there and put them in another spot. And then I planted some carrots and some lettuce, I believe, in this planter. And the day after I did that, some birds came and just messed up the entire thing. They mixed up everything. So there is carrots everywhere and there is lettuce I think the lettuce is not even growing for some reason. It's not going very well. It's looking very sad. Let me show you. This is it. It looks empty. This doesn't even belong here. It's just grass. This is a carrot. That's a carrot. That's a carrot. I had carrots lined up here. It was a very pretty line with carrots and then a very pretty line with some kind of lettuce, and that was very well divided over this box, but I don't know what happened. Chaos happened. I think that this might be lettuce, that tiny thing, as well as here, there are some, but it doesn't seem to do very well. I don't think we'll be having a lot of lettuce this year. Oh well, better luck next year. The tomatoes are doing okay. I'm not very good at pruning tomatoes. I'm always afraid that I cut away too much. So as a result, I cut away too little. But they are doing well. There's some nice fruit hanging here. This, I think, are Roma tomatoes. I know that there is Roma on one side and then another species on the other. And of course, I don't remember which is which, but I figured you can see that when they actually grow. And these seem to be a little longer than round, so I think these are the Roma tomatoes. They're looking really good. So that wasn't actually as much work as I thought. Oh right, I still have to cut the chives. Let's do that. That way I can also show you the peppers that are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. I find these very funny plants, these chives. They were already here when we moved in, so this is not something that I planted myself. It's also something that I don't actually use very much in cooking. Just don't really like the taste of it, but I do kind of like how they look, so I keep them around and I just cut them completely short every couple of weeks and they will grow back in no time. It's actually really interesting to see how fast they grow back. Give them a week or two and they will be as high as they are now. There was a ground covering plant of some kind, I think it was a geranium actually, that was covering everything. And I took it out as much as I could, but you can see that it's actually coming back in many, many spots. It's a very stubborn little thing. And this is also very fun. This is a, oh, what are they called? See, gardening is easy. So as I said, my peppers aren't doing great. I actually didn't plant these from seed. I bought these at a nursery. I don't know. They're very, very sad. I also think the slugs got to the leaves. It's having a little bit of a hard time, but it does start to do something. And then there is a hot chili pepper down there as well, which is also looking very sad, but it does keep giving peppers. So I don't know, maybe it will cheer up later when the weather gets better. What are you doing? What did you see? So this morning we were working on the side of the house, which is where we kind of made a breakfast area because that is where the sun is the most in the morning. And we were pruning some bushes and making a complete mess of things. And then we realized we can't actually put any of that away because both of our bins are completely full because we've already been working out in the garden earlier this week. So we had no space to put anything. And Steven actually had a really good idea. He said, why don't we build a compost bin? Which is something we've wanted to do anyway. We actually had a compost bin in the last house, but we left it there. And also that was a plastic one, and we actually really wanted a wooden one, an open one. So it's a different concept, a different thing. And I actually think I have the wood that I need to build it. So I'm gonna go into the shed and see if that is true. Because last summer, I think, we had a really big storm in the other house and one of the fence parts blew apart. It just completely fell apart. So I took it apart further and took out all the wood that was usable. And that would be this stuff, this one here. It is actually meant to live outside, so that's nice. I think, but I can't actually find my measuring tape. I think it's 180 centimeters long. So I was thinking I could make a bin that is 1 meter by 80 centimeters. And I did a very quick calculation and I cannot promise you that it's correct, but my quick calculation said that I need 12 pieces. And I counted them and I think I have exactly 12. So that's lucky. I would not have enough for a lid though. I would probably get some more to build a lid, but we'll see. I can at least build the bin and put all of the greenery in there. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, I really think that my Apple Watch should definitely count this as exercise. For some reason, it never does. It's just not fair. 12, 14. I have 14. Could also be that they're not all intact, so it's nice to have some extra. I actually used these pieces to build the planter boxes as well. I'm going to need some pieces to attach them to. Oh, perfect. This here used to be like the bottom of a bed where the mattress goes on top of. I thought I saw a rodent, but that was not. Okay, I would need 4 of these. 2 and 4. It's not gonna be this high, so I'm gonna have to shorten them. But I should probably find a measuring tape first so that I can decide exactly what size they're gonna be and how much wood I need and where it's gonna go. I am doing this all in the wrong order, as usual. Where did I put the measuring tape? Where could it have gone? What did I use it for? I don't remember. It's not here. I think I actually already took it out of this box when I needed it the last time. So where did I put it then? It's also not like that's the only measuring tape that we have. And I can't find any of them. I still don't have a measuring tape. I found this one, which is not the one I was looking for. Can't find it anywhere. But did find my drill though. That's good. So we have a really big stone planter on the side of the house, and there's actually a fence leaning against it for now because it's pretty and I want to use it somewhere, but I haven't decided where yet. So it's gonna live here for a bit, but I actually have to make sure it doesn't get completely overgrown with whatever this is. And then to the left of the planter, we want the compost bin to live. It's very close to the kitchen, so it's really easy to get to, but it's not so close that any bugs or something might fly inside whenever you open the door. And it's not in full sun all day, but it does get enough. It would be 70 high. That's not very high. Babe? Is 70 hoog genoeg? Okay. Blijf. Blijf. Go. Stay. Good boy. Stay. There we go. Good job. This was a really nice Sunday afternoon project because it didn't have to be perfect. I didn't have to do very precise measurements. It just had to be functional and decent, and sometimes that should be enough. So these boards were 180 centimeters long, so I cut them in half, making the bin about 90 by 90 centimeters. And then I decided to start with the 2 sides and then connect the sides in the end. So I started by screwing the boards against the posts that I had made, and I made those a little bit higher than the stone planter next to it, keeping in mind that it would probably sink down into the soil a little bit. So then in the end it would roughly be the same height as the planter. And then I used one of the boards as a spacer to make sure that all of the boards were evenly spaced out. And then when this side was done, I did the same with the other side. Then I put both sides on their sides on the ground and attached them with more boards. This was a very, very easy project, you guys. I can't make it sound more interesting than it was, sorry. Now the lid was a little bit more complicated because for some reason I had decided that I wanted all of the screws on the inside. Now I have very conveniently scrapped the footage that shows me muttering and cursing at the thing for 30 minutes or so before Stephen heard me and kindly offered to help out. Turns out I was just missing a couple of arms. So while one of us held the lid open, the other one could screw the next board onto it, and that actually worked really well. And then I simply made sure that the last board would stick over the edge a little bit so that it would be easy to open. Okay, so the bin is built. Now I'm just gonna go and take out all of those brushes over here because this is where it's gonna be. I'm gonna take everything out, see what we're dealing with, but my camera is actually empty, so I'm gonna charge it. In the meantime, I'll be back when I've got the space to actually put it there. Okay, so the shrubs are gone. I've taken out 4 tiles, which I think should be enough, so I hope that it fits inside of the square. I do think so. Now I'm just gonna have to get it there. Babe, would you help me?
I wake up from the sunshine on my face, so dehydrated, don't know what to say.
Almost forgot, I want to put a layer of wire mesh at the bottom just to stop any rodents from crawling in from the bottom of the bin. So we turn it on its side so that I can reach it.
Yesterday was supposed to be quiet, being to myself and sit in silence, until I got a call. My friend showed up at my door. They wanted me to go out for a while. We were there.
As I am starting this compost bin from scratch, I started with a layer of wood, which I found all around the garden, as well as some old potting soil from some old pots that were laying around here. And then I added a layer of mulch. Stephen actually went out and mowed the lawn as well, just to add some more. And I added the clippings from pruning those bushes earlier. And then I will be adding kitchen scraps over the next week as they will be coming out of the kitchen. I have a little bin on the countertop where I throw all of the vegetable scraps into, which then go into the compost bin at the end of the day, which feels so much better than just throwing them in the garbage.
Felt like we had it all. We were dancing in the dark. We were dancing in the dark. Wow.
I hope you enjoyed this video. I know that it wasn't like a big makeover or anything, but the small projects also need to get done. So there's only so much you can do in a certain amount of time. I will not have a video for you in the next Tuesday that I would usually upload because we will be on holiday. But after that, I will definitely be back. So stick around and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.